There's those two, man.
It's vastly different.
Yeah. I mean, like, my thing is, and this, to any comedians, any actors, whatever the fuck, you don't have to be broke and do this shit, man. Because they always talk about, man, I'm tired of this bum ass. Bro, you can, believe it or not, it sounds crazy. You can educate yourself. You can better yourself. You can get a better fucking job.
You know what it is? It's just hard work. That's all it is, bro. It's hard work.
I love that. It's hard work.
Like, for real. Like,
Oh, man,
you know just as well as I do about not getting enough sleep.
Oh, yeah.
About being exhausted,
Yep.
hitting comedy,
Yep.
and doing work, and then having life responsibilities. A lot of people don't have shit that they got to worry about. You know?
Well, then don't bitch about your situation, then.
Like, I work 12 hours a day.
Vain fucking grind.
Trying to make money. And then try and hit mics, do shows. Then I got to squeeze in interviews and squeeze in, like, real life shit.
You grind, motherfucker.
Like I don't know what the people are doing that are just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, man, because, like, I'll be real, man. I'll be at work, and I'll see people at my job, like, every fucking day. I'm like, do y'all work or do anything? Like, y'all just standing here.
I remember during the pandemic, I'd hit Walmart up for the hangout spot. Like, oh, let me see what kind of chips they got today.
People are still doing that
Same
shit,
as
man.
yesterday, huh? Well, I'm going to go check out the toiletries. Ain't shit else to do.
Same shit,
No,
different fucking day.
That's great. Just
shitting.
standing around with their hands in their fucking pockets walking around Walmart.
I'm like, man, y'all don't work or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck? What job do you work where you can stand in Walmart all fuck? I want that job. Give me that job. I'd like to fuck around, do nothing all day.
Absolutely. By the way, we also know business owners. Shout out to one of the sponsors, Marcus Cox. You heard the commercial.
MC Auto Detailing. Great work, by the way.
Yeah.
He did my car, my interior. Perfect.
Yeah, phenomenal. Wouldn't put his commercial on every episode if he was half-assed. He is top notch.
And that's the homie, too.
Yeah,
Marcus.
yeah. And Marcus is a great guy and funny-ass comedian and another dude who's a phenomenal father.
Oh, yeah. Marcus is another fucking grinder, hustler, man. Beaver County, we be out here grinding, bro.
Yeah. I'm actually having Nikki on the podcast later this month.
Oh, shit. No,
His
for real.
wife, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
She's a breast cancer survivor.
Fuck yeah.
And, like, I'm sure she's talked about that so goddamn much that I know she's more than that. And I'd like to give her the platform to put that out there.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, you know,
Good shit.
I do what I can.
So fucking
breast
thoughtful.
cancer's close to my heart.
Yeah. Literally?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Well, when I was 17, my mom was
Sorry.
diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and she went through chemo and radiation, and it was rough on her. Ended up losing both of her breasts. She had a double mastectomy.
Okay.
And one of the medications she was taking to keep her breast cancer in remission, one of the side effects was uterine cancer. So she got uterine cancer.
What the fuck?
And then had to go through chemo and radiation again,
God.
and got a full hysterectomy. She's still alive and kicking like a crazy fucking chicken.
What a warrior, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a fucking warrior.
Absolutely. So, like, it's just
That's
one of those
strength.
thing that's very close to my heart.
Learn from her. That's a fucking warrior right there,
Yeah,
dude.
my mom was a strong woman.
I see where Johnny gets it from.
Well, you know, love you, Mom. That's what I'll say. So when did you start stand-up?
That ties into Texas Roadhouse too. I worked with Kevin Butke. Shout out
to Kevin.
Kevin Butke and Stay
Stay
Happy.
Happy, or I don't know if he launched it, but Stay Ugly
Stay
was
Ugly.
one of the things he was talking about doing. He was
Oh,
he
man.
was telling me his branding. He was going to change from Stay Happy to Stay Ugly because it's more relatable. Maybe this is me misquoting, but he said because more people are ugly and they can relate. And I was like, well, okay, whatever works.
Statistically speaking, he's not wrong.
Either way, shout out to Kevin Butke.
Shout out to Stay Ugly. No, he worked the salads when I worked at Texas Roadhouse. He tossed salads.
That does not surprise me one bit.
No, but literally, like, before I even started comedy, I just knew him because we worked at the same place. I was a waiter, and he tossed salads. He was terrible at his job.
Scrambled eggs.
No, he was really bad at his job, but I was too, so I can't really talk shit. So, but anyways, he started doing comedy.
If you start working at a restaurant and you're phenomenal at it, just give it up. Because then you found your calling, and if that's your calling, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
like,
stay.
Not shitting on like a chef or like a sommelier, but like if you're an Eaton Park lifer, get the fuck out of there.
Yes, please. But he started doing comedy, and he kind of introduced me to it because I didn't know that you could just go to a bar and get on stage. I thought that I literally thought that when a comedian like started, someone just told them, hey, go on stage and say this shit, and they got paid. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. So he started going to Ham Bones.
Shout out to the Bones.
Shout out to Ham Bones, R.I.P.
R.I.P. By the way, Amanda Abrils' podcast.
Yes.
What is it, Snack Time?
Yes, I believe so.
Is that what it's called, Snack Time? I was on the most recent episode.
Hell yeah.
Guys, if you get a chance, check that out. It was a really fun episode. And I don't know. It was more about prison at some points than it was about snack food. So,
I mean, there's snack foods in prison now.
Yeah, we talked about it,
motherfucker. You will get stabbed for a ho ho. Yeah. You fucking. My mom.
I talked
she
about
dated convicts. I know all about that.
I
shit.
talked about trading honey buns for Wellbutrin that you could crush up and snort and get about a 5-10 minute coke high.
I've heard that motherfucking tuna is a huge, and oysters is a huge deal in there.
I mean tuna, yeah, because tuna's great. You know, you can't go wrong with tuna. It's delicious.
Spreads and shit.
Yeah. Oysters, maybe for other people, but like tuna's as far as I'm going with seafood. Yeah. And then on top of that, you're not going to give me these packaged oysters or clams or little octopus because they got all that shit and like on the outside packages and certain things you can send in. I mean, I'm not fucking with it, but people enjoyed it. So
hey, but yeah, I've known. I grew up around. My mom dated a lot of convicts, so I knew they give me the rundown on prison because that's I don't know why they tell us.
I'm trying to date somebody's mom.
Hey man,
yeah, I'm trying to date somebody's
to the moms out there, bro. Hit up my man Vane.
No, there's one mom specifically I'm talking about.
Shit,
yeah,
dude.
She knows who she is, but I'm not going to say anything public.
Sorry, I'm being inappropriate. But no, I started doing it. I didn't start doing it consistently until 2017. 2014 was when I did it for the first time, though, and I was really bad. I tell people this all the time, and they think I'm like, oh, no, dude. I was so bad. Damn, look at Vane. Ah! Sorry, I got really excited for him for a second. I got really excited. Sorry, man. I was super, I was really bad at comedy. I was really bad. I'd only seen like Eddie Murphy and shit.
Okay.
And Richard Pryor's, and they.
By the way, don't beat yourself up because we're all shit when we start.
Yeah, but
I mean,
really
I'm terrible
bad.
now still.
No, man, but I was really bad. Like I have video of it that I'm not gonna let see the live day until I'm fucking dead.
Bro, 6 months in, I did 15 minutes at Arcade to silence. To silence.
To silence?
To silence.
I had a couple silent ones in there too.
Like we were all terrible.
Holy
like when you
shit.
first start, we're all just shit.
Well, okay. Well, let me tell you why I was bad. Okay. So in 2014, I maybe did a grand total.
You ready for some dick jokes?
I maybe did a grand total of 3 times, like for the whole year. That's why I don't count it as my start because it was literally just I'd go with Kevin because I went with him to every mic. Which, by the way, friends of comics, don't go with your comic friend to every mic because it's fucking weird, and I didn't know that at the time. Helping you out.
It is weird.
I went with him to every mic because I didn't know that was weird, and because I just supporting the guy, he's my friend. And occasionally I would just get on stage, and everyone knew me as Kevin's friend, and they would not laugh at all. And not just that, but I fucking wore gym shorts on stage. I literally did not dress like appropriate for comedy, and my jokes were just me saying fuck this and fuck that and motherfucker and. Fuck it. I sounded stupid. Sounded uneducated. And third of all,
I love how you use that marker as a microphone while talking into a real microphone that you can like take it out if you want to.
Cock. No, I'm good. It's so dainty. I don't want to fuck it up. But I also used to do this shit where I would write all my jokes because I was an actor. So I thought that comedy. I love it. I just could write my stupid fucking jokes on a piece of paper and read it like a script and memorize. It's so dumb. So I would do that. I would write my jokes out word for word. And I would literally practice every single freaking word like it was a movie script. So I'd go up there, and sometimes I would bring my notepad and just read right off and say, "Hey, so do you guys know?" And I'd sound stupid. And I'd bomb. I was so bad. Lorenzo De Silvio, shouts out to him, very funny. We were at Getaway Cafe, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you sucked when you started." And he immediately retracted. Oh, I'm just kidding. I was like, no, you're fucking not lying, bro. That was true. I fucking was terrible. But no, I was really bad. And by the way, another piece of advice for comedians. Don't read off your fucking notepad when you start. Just don't do it.
Oh, fuck that. I still do sometimes.
No, I mean,
I'm working on new shit.
Well, or rather, let me rephrase it. Don't try to read verbatim.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Write down the concept and let it become its own. Don't fucking, hey, so my cat fucked a dog. You know, it's just, that was a weird joke, by the way.
It's very forced.
Yeah, no, that was my main issue because Joey would always tell me that because me and Joey, when I started doing it consistently in 2017, I had the same problem. And Joey would tell me, he was like, your main problem is you sound really scripted. Mm-hmm. You sound like a robot up there. And also, like, I would clam up. I didn't even realize I was doing it until I watched video. Film your first sets especially, even at open mics, because you don't realize certain shit you're doing with your body language. Like, I would hunch up and I'd be like this. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know until I looked, and then I realized, all right, relax.
Now, I remember those sets that you sounded more robotic like that. Like,
right.
You could, it felt like you were reading off a script. I do remember that. But my favorite sets I've seen of yours have been the ones where you've just been going off the cuff.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, there was a show we did in Newcastle for the Music Fest guys. Yeah. At that little manger thing.
Yeah, man.
And, like, a lot of your set was just riffing and talking shit, and it was fucking hilarious.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at that. One thing that really helped was, and this might sound bad, but care less. And I don't mean I don't give a fuck about stand. I mean, like, understand that if you go into it, because a lot of people approach comedy like a sport. They're all like hyping themselves up. They're like, oh, I gotta tell jokes as hard as I fucking can, and I gotta.
I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'll throw my, loosen up before I go up a little bit.
Well, that's fine, but like some people like get way too focused. And Matt Light put it best to me, and this is when I started.
Shout out to Matt Light.
Shout out to Matt Light. He put it in terms that made the most sense. Because I had a set. It did well, but I started off rough. And he said, I'll never forget, this is great advice too. He said, your problem is you go into this set and you say, I'm going to do this, this, and this. You need to not think like that. You need to think, you have your set list. It's hard to explain. You have your set list, but you can't be afraid, especially on a show. Now, if you're at an open mic, just do your shit. I mean, if you want to do crowd work at an open mic, that's fine, but open mics are more for just practicing your jokes. But at a show, don't be afraid to jump out of your set, fuck around a little bit, and another thing, do not force it.